At 70 years old, Bruce Willis, the man who once embodied grit, charm, and unstoppable courage, is now facing the toughest role of his life. And this time, there's no script, no retakes, and no triumphant ending. For years, he was Hollywood's ultimate action hero, the man who ran through fire, took down villains, and always walked away with a half smile and a clever line. Movies like Die Hard made him a symbol of strength, resilience, and defiance. But today, that fearless warrior is fighting a very different kind of battle, one that no amount of bravery can win. After receiving a heartbreaking diagnosis that has slowly stolen his ability to speak and perform, Bruce Willis has quietly stepped back from the world that once celebrated him. The man who spent decades bringing stories to life can now barely express his own, and it's a truth that has left fans across the world devastated. Yet through it all, his family remains his greatest support system, surrounding him with love, laughter, and unwavering devotion. His wife, children, and ex-wife Demi Moore have come together in a rare show of unity, cherishing each moment, aware that time is both fragile and precious. This isn't just the story of an actor losing his voice. It's the story of a legend showing us what real courage looks like when the lights fade and the applause stops. Bruce Willis may no longer be on the big screen, but the quiet strength he shows now, the same determination that once made him a global icon, reminds us why he'll always be remembered as one of Hollywood's greatest heroes. Bruce Willis entered the world on March 19, 1955, in Idar Oberstein, West Germany. His father, David, was an American soldier stationed there, while his mother, Marlene, was a hard-working German woman devoted to their young family. When Bruce turned 2, the family moved back to the United States and settled in Carneys Point, New Jersey, a modest, working-class town that helped shape his strong and humble character. His parents worked tirelessly to make ends meet. His father became a welder and mechanic, while his mother found a job at a local bank. But Bruce's childhood wasn't without struggle. He dealt with a stutter that made everyday conversations difficult and often left him feeling frustrated. Everything changed when he joined the school's drama club. The moment he stepped on stage, the stutter that once held him back disappeared. Acting became his escape and his passion. By his senior year, Bruce wasn't just performing, he was leading. He became student council president, showing early signs of the charm and confidence that would one day captivate millions. After graduation, life wasn't easy. Bruce bounced from one blue-collar job to another, working as a security guard at a nuclear plant, driving workers at a chemical factory, and even trying his hand as a private investigator. But none of it felt right. Deep down, he knew his true calling was under the spotlight. Determined to follow that dream, he enrolled at Montclair State University to study drama. But his hunger for success couldn't be contained in a classroom. He dropped out and headed straight for New York City, waiting tables and tending bar in Hell's Kitchen while auditioning for any role he could find. Then came the break that would change everything. In 1985, Bruce landed the role of private detective David Addison on the TV show Moonlighting. Competing for thousands of other hopefuls, Bruce stood out instantly. His on-screen chemistry with co-star Sybil Shepherd was electric, funny, natural, and completely captivating. Audiences couldn't get enough, and Bruce's performance earned him both an Emmy and a Golden Globe. As his fame grew, so did the opportunities. He became the face of Seagram's wine coolers, earning millions from the endorsement. But in a rare move for Hollywood, Willis chose integrity over money. He walked away from the deal when he decided to quit drinking. In 1988, Bruce made the leap from TV star to movie legend. His breakout film Die Hard introduced the world to John McClane, a regular cop caught in an extraordinary situation. But McClane wasn't your typical action hero. He bled, he joked, he panicked. Bruce brought heart and humor to the role, creating a character audiences could actually relate to. Die Hard didn't just make him famous, it redefined what it meant to be a hero. That same year, Bruce showed his softer side in Blind Date and In Country, and even lent his voice to the wisecracking baby in Look Who's Talking. These roles proved he wasn't just an action star, he was a versatile performer who could make people laugh, cry, and cheer all in one film. The 1990s were a roller coaster for Bruce. He delivered massive hits like Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and Pulp Fiction, where his quiet, brooding intensity gave the film its emotional depth. But with success came setbacks. Movies like Hudson Hawk and Color of Night flopped, drawing harsh criticism from reviewers. Still, his loyal fans kept watching, renting his films and cheering him on. Through every rise and fall, Bruce never lost his resilience. He laughed off the failures and came back stronger each time with unforgettable performances in 12 Monkeys, The Fifth Element, and the epic Armageddon. That last film didn't just save the world on screen, it reignited Bruce's career and reminded everyone why he had become one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. During the 2000s and 2010s, Bruce Willis became known as the rugged veteran of action movies. He starred in everything from Sin City to Red to Looper. Fans also loved his unexpected appearances. He guest starred on Friends, played himself in a Comedy Central roast, and even took to Broadway in Misery. In his later years, Bruce focused on cameos, voice acting, and returning to the iconic roles that made him a legend. But behind the tough guy image was a man who often looked back on how far he had come. A boy from New Jersey who once struggled to speak, becoming one of Hollywood's biggest stars. His story wasn't just about action and fame. It was about survival, strength, and the quiet burden of being a hero both on and off the screen. Then, in March 2022, the world received heartbreaking news. Bruce Willis's family announced that he had been diagnosed with aphasia, a cruel brain disorder that robs a person of their ability to speak or understand language. Though Bruce could still think clearly, he struggled to find the words. The actor, once known for his quick humor and confident charm, was suddenly locked inside a silence he couldn't escape. Sadly, things got worse. In early 2023, doctors revealed that Bruce was battling frontotemporal dementia, a rare and progressive disease that doesn't just affect speech, but slowly takes away a person's very essence. There was no treatment, no way to stop it. His family could only stand by and watch as the man they loved slowly slipped away. In December 2024, his ex-wife Demi Moore tried to comfort fans, saying Bruce was stable. But the word offered little relief. Many wondered if stable simply meant that his condition had worsened. Reports began to suggest that Bruce could no longer form full sentences, struggled to read, and needed help just to move around. The same man who once performed his own movie stunts was now fighting to take a few steady steps. His wife, Emma Hemming Willis, later admitted how terrifying it was to watch his speech fade. At first, she thought his stuttering had returned, something he battled as a child. She never imagined it was something far more serious. Even more painful was her confession that Bruce might not fully understand what's happening to him. He lives in a strange space between awareness and confusion, sometimes present, sometimes far away. Still, Emma fills his days with love, choosing patience and warmth even when her heart feels heavy. Then came August 2025, and a difficult decision that sparked controversy. Emma decided to move Bruce into a separate home where he could have full-time care. Critics were quick to judge, wondering if she was giving up on him. But Emma explained that Bruce would have wanted their daughters, 12-year-old Mabel and 10-year-old Evelyn, to live in a home filled with laughter and normalcy, not one defined by illness and sadness. Still, the decision broke her heart. Emma isn't just a wife anymore. She's a mother, a caregiver, and a woman trying to hold her family together while watching the love of her life fade away. Her daughters miss their dad deeply, He forgets birthdays, school plays, and the little moments that once made him such a devoted father. Emma often worries about how losing the father they once knew will affect them forever. By July 2025, tired of rumors and harsh opinions, she spoke out publicly, begging people to stop judging what they don't understand. Behind the headlines and the whispers, she said, is a family doing its best to love, to endure, and to let go, one day at a time. Not all at once, but little by little, Bruce Willis began to fade. His decline didn't just surprise his fans, it broke the hearts of those who loved him most. His oldest daughter, Tallulah Willis, later shared how she misunderstood the first signs of his illness. Before the truth came out, she thought her father was pulling away from her, maybe even losing interest in her life. He didn't seem present, she said, recalling how she once believed his silence meant he didn't care anymore. That misunderstanding still fills her with guilt. But now, Tallulah speaks openly about it, reminding others how important it is to talk, to listen, and to notice the quiet changes in the people we love. Because sometimes what looks like distance is really someone struggling in silence. Through everything, Bruce's family has stayed united. His ex-wife, Demi Moore, continues to be deeply involved, often joining family gatherings and posting warm, emotional photos online. Those pictures tell the story of a family holding on tight in the middle of heartbreak. On Bruce's 70th birthday, everyone came together again, proof that even as his memory fades, their love remains stronger than ever. But the warning signs of Bruce's illness appeared long before the public knew. Between 2018 and 2022, he starred in over 20 movies, not the big blockbusters he was once known for, but smaller, quickly made films designed to profit from his famous name. He could earn millions for just a few days of work, but behind the cameras, something wasn't right. Crew members noticed that he struggled to remember lines, follow directions, or understand what was happening on set. During the filming of Hard Kill in 2020, co-star Lala Kent remembered a terrifying moment when Bruce fired a prop gun at the wrong time, twice. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but everyone was shaken. The dependable action hero the world once knew suddenly seemed uncertain and confused. From that point on, crews quietly adjusted things to protect him, simplifying his lines and rearranging scenes so he wouldn't be embarrassed. One insider later admitted, "We had to make him look good. He was being puppeted." Those words cut deep. The thought of Bruce Willis, the fearless star of Die Hard, being guided through scenes he no longer understood. On the set of Midnight in the Switchgrass, director Randall Emmett reportedly struggled to get Bruce to do simple actions like kicking down a door. He had to wear an earpiece so lines could be fed to him, but even then, he often looked lost. Some crew members remembered him asking quietly, "Why am I here?" That haunting question showed just how much the disease had taken from the man who once commanded every frame of the screen. Soon, whispers began to spread through Hollywood. Some filmmakers were accused of hiring Bruce despite knowing about his condition, putting profit before compassion. His name alone could turn a small movie into a guaranteed hit, and for a time that was enough for certain producers to look the other way. But not everyone was willing to continue. Directors like Mike Burns and Jesse V. Johnson later chose not to work with him again, realizing that continuing would feel wrong, not just financially, but morally. And behind it all, one painful question remains. Why didn't anyone stop it sooner? Maybe Bruce wanted to keep working. Maybe those around him didn't fully understand how serious things had become. Or maybe in an industry that never slows down, nobody knew how to say enough. For years, Bruce Willis's career was built on endurance, on explosions, late nights, and endless stunts. That same determination that made him a legend might have also pushed him too far. Doctors say his illness wasn't caused by overwork, but constant stress can make it worse. And Bruce, being who he was, gave everything: his energy,
his body, his focus, to entertain millions of people around the world. Now, the lights have faded, the cameras are quiet, and the man who once saved the world on screen is now being held up by the love of his family. There are no scripts to rewrite this time, no second takes, only love, memory, and the quiet bravery that comes with learning to let go. Bruce Willis's battle with frontotemporal dementia, or FTD, has taken away the voice of one of Hollywood's most iconic stars. It's a condition still wrapped in mystery, often misunderstood and tragically under-researched. Unlike Alzheimer's, it doesn't begin by stealing memories. It targets language, empathy, and identity, changing the very essence of who a person is. And because it's so rare, progress in understanding it has been painfully slow.
But in March 2023, scientists from the University of Sheffield gave the world a glimmer of hope. They announced a potential breakthrough, a nasal spray that might one day slow down or even prevent certain forms of FTD. It's still years from reaching human trials, far too late to help Bruce himself. Yet for his daughters, who might carry the same genetic risk, this discovery could become a lifeline, a chance to escape the same fate that took their father's light. Today, Bruce Willis is 70 years old. His condition is described as stable, a word that brings both comfort and sorrow. Stable means he's no longer declining rapidly, but it also means he's not improving. He now lives in that fragile space between presence and absence, where fragments of the man we once knew still shine through, though dimmer with each passing day. His wife, Emma Hemming Willis, has become his rock, his devoted care partner, as she lovingly calls herself. Their two young daughters, Mabel and Evelyn, continue to visit him, filling his days with laughter even in the quiet corners of his care home. His ex-wife, Demi Moore, remains close, showing up with their older daughters, Rumer, Scout, and Tallulah, for birthdays, holidays, and every small, meaningful moment in between. This is not a story of loss and abandonment. It's a story of unity, endurance, and love that refuses to fade. It's about a family that stays together, not out of obligation, but out of deep, unwavering devotion. A wife balancing motherhood and caregiving. Daughters grieving a father who's still here, yet slowly slipping away. And an ex-wife who could have stepped back, but chose instead to stay close, to be part of his circle of care. For Bruce Willis, the man who wants to find strength and fearlessness in films like Die Hard and Armageddon, this chapter of life has revealed a different kind of heroism. His goodbye isn't dramatic or loud. It's slow, quiet, and heartbreakingly human. One by one, his abilities have faded. First his words, then his understanding, and now his physical freedom. But what remains is the most powerful thing of all: love. Love that surrounds him. Love that keeps his spirit alive. Love that turns pain into purpose. The courage of those who stand beside him every day reminds us that real heroism isn't found in explosions or fight scenes. It's found in moments of grace, patience, and care. As fans, we can honor Bruce not only by cherishing his legendary roles, but by taking lessons from his journey. We can push for more awareness and research into FTD, support the families battling it, and start open conversations about brain health, especially in an entertainment industry that often hides its pain behind the spotlight. Hollywood must do better, for its icons and for those who come after them. Better protection for aging actors, more compassion, greater honesty about the toll that fame and health challenges can take. Bruce Willis taught the world what it meant to be strong. But in this final act, he's teaching us something far more profound. That true strength isn't about fighting villains or saving the world. It's about facing life's hardest truths with grace, surrounded by love that never lets go. And maybe that's his greatest role of all. A hero, not on the screen, but in the hearts of those who will never forget him.